Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to go into, we've got 3.4 day 2. So I'm just going to go over a word problem with you guys real quick. Most of the homework for today are different word problems with these intercept problems with these standard form equations. And then next week we'll get into slope-intercept form, which I think some of you are familiar with. All right. So we're on page 78 here in the student journal. So let's go through, we've got a word problem. So it says the school band is selling sweatshirts and baseball caps to raise $9,000 to attend a band competition. All right, sweatshirts cost $25 each and baseball caps cost $10 each. The equation 25x plus 10y equals 9,000 models this situation, where x is the number of sweatshirts sold and y is the number of baseball caps sold. So let's make sure this makes sense, right? X is the number of sweatshirts, so every sweatshirt gets them $25. So if you multiply the number of sweatshirts by 25, you'll get the amount of money raised by the sweatshirts, right? If you get $10 per baseball cap, all right, well, you multiply $10 per baseball cap sold, you add those two numbers together, and you get that desired amount of money. So this equation is all about, okay, if I sell this many baseball caps, how many sweatshirts do I have to sell and still get that $9,000? All right, so it says find and interpret the intercepts. All right, so let's remember from the other day, when we're trying to find these x and y intercepts, let's say I want to find the x intercept. Right? When you're finding the x-intercept, you plug in 0 for y. Right? Make sure you're not mixing that up. It's really easy to mix up. When you want to find the x-intercept, that means y is 0. So I've got 25x, trying to find the x. I need to make sure my phone's on silent when I record these. Plus 10 times 0 for y equals 9,000. All right, so 10 times 0 is just 0, so I've got 25x is equal to 9,000. All right, so I'm multiplying by 25, so I'm going to divide by 25. It's too early in the morning for me to do mental math. Okay, 9,000 divided by 25, I get 360. All right, so my x-intercept is 360. Let me find my y-intercept. So y-intercept. So again, finding my y-intercept, that means I'm plugging in 0 for x. At 25 times 0 plus 10y is equal to 9,000. All right, so 25 times 0 is 0, so I've got 10y is equal to 9,000. Okay, I'm multiplying by 10, so I'm going to divide. I don't need a calculator for this one. 9,000 divided by 10 is 900. Okay, so I get 360 and 900 for my two intercepts. Right? Here I have a problem. Okay, it says if 258 sweatshirts are sold, how many baseball caps are sold? Okay, so it's similar to what I was just doing, except I'm not plugging in 0. I'm going to plug in 258. All right, now let's think about what these numbers mean. Am I plugging it in for x or for y? X is the number of sweatshirts, so I need to plug in 258 for that x. Let me find out what y is. Okay, 25 times 258. I get 6,450 plus 10y equals 9,000. Okay, I'm going to subtract that 6,450 from each side. And I get 10y is equal to 2,550, 2,550. Right, I'm going to divide each side by 10. So I get y is equal to 255. Okay, 255 hats. Right? And then the very last part, it wants me to graph my equation. So it wants me to find two more possible solutions in the context of the problem. All right, so graph the equation. I've already got my x and y intercepts. Right, so I know my x-intercept over here, that 360, that's where I cross my x-axis. So here, let's label this 360, I've got 900. Let's do this by, I'm going to do this by hundreds. Okay, 100, 200, 300, 400, and then over here, same thing on my y. Okay, I'm moving up by hundreds, so this can fit on my graph. All right, so 360, when you end up with a number that's not quite on the line, get as close as you can, but I'm never going to take out a ruler and say you're a millimeter off, all right? As long as it mostly makes sense, you're fine. Okay, so 360 right there on my x-axis. Then my y-intercept up on the y-axis, I've got 900. I'm going to do my best to draw a nice, neat line connecting the two. Perfect. All right, and it wants two more possible solutions. Okay, so that's kind of giving me the freedom to plug in any number and then find the other value. So let's find it out if I sell 10 hats. Okay, so if I have hats, that means I'm plugging in the number for y. All right, so 25x plus 10 times my 10 hats is equal to 9,000. All right, so 25x plus 100 is equal to 9,000. I'm going to subtract that 100 from each side. So now I have 25x is equal to 8,900. Okay, divide out by 25. All right, 8,900 divided by 25. I get 356. Okay, so I'm going to call this solution 356, 10. All right, let's do the same thing, but let's do it for 10, excuse me, let's do it for 10 sweatshirts. Okay, so let's say if I have 10 sweatshirts. All right, let's find how many hats. So now 25 times 10 plus 10y is equal to 9,000. All right, so 250 plus 10y equals 9,000. I'm going to subtract that 250 from each side. Okay, I've got 10y is equal to 8,750. All right, divide each side up by 10. I get y is equal to 875. Okay, I've got to sell a lot more hats because they're not worth as much. Okay, so another solution would be 10 for x, 875 for y. All right, so that should help you through most of these different word problems that you've got here on 3.4. I'm going to do Google Meet today on Friday at 1, so if you get stuck on something, you can always hop on. You can send me an email, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.